I'm Lorri King, and this is my dad, Ron King.
I was born in Seattle, Washington in 1938. I was from a Chinese family. February of 42, President Roosevelt signed an executive order which required all the Japanese citizens and aliens to be relocated inland because of the fear of the Japanese. I do remember my brother and I looking at this document stapled to the telephone pole. I had no idea what the meaning was. It was to have all the citizens gathered and sent to internment camps inland. I had a neighbor girl, Japanese. She had a menagerie of pets. She had a cat, gerbil. One day I went over there. Everybody was gone. I had no idea what was happening. Later, I entered public school, midterm kindergarten. I was 3.5, I think I was in my household. We flew the American flag daily, and I wore an armband with the American flag on it, or an armband that said Chinese.
So you were quite worried that they would think you were Japanese.
That was a fear. My parents were involved in the restaurant business in downtown Seattle. And at the time, Seattle was an embarkation for troops going overseas to the South Pacific. It was a very busy time. And I remember looking out the window and I saw prisoners of war sweeping the streets in downtown Seattle, which I thought, well, that's strange. Who are these people? Of course, part of Seattle's story was that was a fort up there, Fort Laud, the military, in our restaurant. It was just very festive. My dad never collected a dime. My experience after the war, I still had to be careful because people came back from the war. I recall after a movie, I was about maybe 10 years old. This fellow started yelling at me and he threatened bodily harm.
Because he thought you were Japanese.
He thought I was Japanese. And I remember that very distinctly. Eventually, I went on to college and I went into the military.
When did you enter the military?
I served 63 to 65. And sure enough, I got out in April of 65. And the first American troops that landed, it was a big showcase having American troops land in Vietnam. Of course, it was all strictly public relations. The South Vietnamese women greeted them with lace. Maybe I missed out on that.
Well, yeah.
Oh.
So where did you go in 65? Did you go back to school?
Yeah, I went to the University of Miami. My experience as a student was watching the Sputniks.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was there during that time in college. I think it was in October. I was on my way to school, and I saw all these military trucks. And this is during Cuban
Missile Crisis.
Crisis. There was interesting times of how the exiled Cubans down there were very determined to take their country back. And so on the University of Miami South Campus, they actually had a CIA station. It's a different time period I think I'd like to end.
Well, thanks for sharing.
Yeah.